Love is running through my veins. Oh, this line can't be tamed. There's fire in my blood. Burn.
Right then, hello everyone and welcome back to the Assetto Corsa Offline Championship here for round 9 of the Formula 1 Championship as we move on with the Formula 1 circuits to no other track than the Silverstone circuit for the British Grand Prix. Yes, we are here, Formula 1, at the legendary Silverstone circuit as we return for a third season. We got 12 minutes of the first stage of qualifying ahead of us. The drivers already out on track for their outlaps. And yes, this is going to be quite interesting. In your commentary booth is me today, me and MG, going solo once again. But yeah, we are here at Silverstone. If you have missed the Formula 2 and Porsche Super Cup races, the support races that we had at this venue as well in the past couple of days. Make sure to check them out on our channel. It was a very, very exciting couple of races, especially the Formula 2 one. Better go watch that before or after this race is over. So I think we are in for a very, very good race, judging by the last 2 series that have run here. But before we get stuck in with qualifying, then let's go through the track. So the Silverstone circuit, located near the Northamptonshire villages of Towcester, Silverstone and Whittlebury, hosts the British Grand Prix ever since 1948. So this is one of the oldest, if not the oldest track on the Formula 1 calendar. Obviously this circuit famously hosted the first ever Formula 1 race in 1950. First ever World Championship race came here to this circuit. And, you know, it's been run ever since. And, yeah, truly a very historic and legendary circuit. Obviously this circuit was based originally off a World War II airfield, which was then converted into a racetrack with a very, very different layout to what we race on today. Obviously there's been a lot of there's been a lot of new corners, a lot of high-speed sections at this track that have been modified to increase safety. And yeah, this is the layout that we run today ever since 2011. And it is a very, very good layout. As you can see, this track obviously is one of the spectacles of the Formula 1 calendar, just due to what a challenge it is for the drivers, and how much they can race each other on the circuit. There's a lot of overtaking zones, especially through this one that Sabat Özkan is going through now. Stowe. Very fantastic overtaking zone, and then you continue through into the Vale chicane as well. But let's go through the track details then, as we're on the topic of corners. Track length of about 5.8191 kilometers, 18 turns, and our race lap record is a 1:27.0. But we are having times in a 1:34, so it is a bit slower, which is no problem at all as the times begin to pop up on the board. And you can see out of all the six times on the board, it's actually Josef Fredrik Schuto who's gone fastest at the moment. Lavos Nisca is at a 1:33.5. There's a Red Bull of Tomas Mandic and a 1:33.3. It is for the Croatian Red Bull driver. Obviously not the greatest result it was for him in Austria. He finished a lowly P8, or a P9 it was. As the two Mercedes boys across the line, Parachki and Johansson, the Macedonian leading the world champion Johansson, obviously, as it is at the moment, by about 100th of a second, as we're just awaiting the other cars across the line. You see that Josef Fredrik Schuto is actually posted a very, very good lap, I have to say, in the Williams. He is just a 10th ahead of Wojtek Kulasek in the Renault, which is fantastic. Let's see his teammate Novikov as he crosses the lines at 1:34.9. And there's Miran FG across the line, and not the best lap time for him, as he's not been able to get to the 1:33s. Fernando Tost across the line for P5 it is. Once again, a fantastic performance from the young Polish driver, as the other times are coming in. Özkan said an improvement there. Patel, and then Alfred Klaus, who's gone P15, but he has the Toros of Lewis McIntyre. That is, there's Kai Cherezhnia into 15th place. He goes at 16th, as Milka Singh is the final car to go across the line, and he goes P15. And that's all the 20 times on the board. Then with 6 minutes to go, I was just going to say was Enis Parachki fastest, but it is now this man fastest, Tomas Mandic of Red Bull. 1:33.190 it is for the Croatian. And your bottom 5 is currently Cherezhnia, Klaus, Blackwood, Gamba, and Novikov. Yeah, a bit surprising to see Alfred Klaus down there, but I believe he got traffic on his lap, so he's gonna go out again, I presume, as he's chasing down Lewis McIntyre. as they head through Maggots and Beckett's. If you watched the Formula 2 race yesterday, you remember Ida Weitz and Daniel Wale came together at Maggots in a very high-speed accident. As Klaus is going to try to make the move on the Red Bull sister car, the Toro Rosso, as Maximilian Novikov. What a lap time from the Williams as he goes up to P9, and he's only 100th off Steven Schuto. I cannot believe that I was saying Williams P8 and P9 today. That's a fantastic lap time from both of the Williams boys. As Mohammed Patel goes up to P8. Alfred Klaus with an improvement goes P15. What is going on with Alfred Klaus? Still under traffic though, the Swede, as Wojtek Kulasek goes up to P9. Milka Singh up to P14 to get himself out of the bottom 5. But Gamba, I wonder what's happened to Franco Gamba, because he's last at the moment. He's coming out of the pit lane now, but I wonder what happened to him. As Dennis Graf goes across the line, the German does not improve yet. Obviously, there's no need for him to improve. Here's Lewis McIntyre, currently in P17 he is. Toro Rosso obviously looking very, very good this season. Summit Özkan currently P9 in the championship standings. He scored a total of 16 points, which is fantastic. And McIntyre's been scoring some good points himself. As there's Klaus, getting a bit out of shape there, as he went a bit wide through Beckett. That was. But McIntyre's going to want to get himself out of Q1 here, especially in his home race. Remember, you got a lot of the guys in the field having their home races. Lewis McIntyre and Mohammed Patel. I say a lot of the guys. It is just 2, but yeah, Patel and McIntyre had their home Grand Prix. And you remember Mohammed Patel, back when he was driving for Red Bull in 2017. Speaking of Red Bull, here is Alfred Klaus across the line, and he goes P7 with that lap. So he's finally got himself out of the bottom 5. He's now P8 as Wojtek Kulasek in the Renault goes P7. Milka Singh across the line for P13. But what I want to say was Mohammed Patel, as here's Franco Gamba. He's just going to start his out lap. But Mohammed Patel, obviously, if you do remember back in 2017 when the first British Grand Prix was held here for the ACOC, you had Mohammed Patel, then driving for Red Bull, obviously. He took his second victory in a row, that was, at the British Grand Prix. It was a fantastic performance from him back then. He won by, I believe it was like 10 seconds or something. So it was really a fantastic performance from the British driver. And currently he is in the top 10. So this is a track that Mohammed Patel likes. As Fernando Tost, who is currently P4. That's fantastic for Fernando Tost. Really just an amazing rookie this guy is. And it's fantastic to have seen him drive at the moment. He's completely outscored his teammate Franco Gamba over these past few races. The only race where he didn't score points was last time at Austria. Other than that, he scored points every race except Malaysia, because he DNF'd there. As Franco Gamba, he's got a bit of issues here. I believe that is Kai Cherezhnia, is that not? Yes, it is. That is Kai Cherezhnia, number 55. As they're going to be wheel to wheel through the Vale chicane. Oh, Cherezhnia over the curb there, but that is going to allow Gamba to get past. As Jafari Blackwood goes across the line to get himself out of the elimination zone just barely. Gamba across, and he goes P11, knocks Blackwood back into the elimination zone. Özkan surprisingly in the elimination zone as well. The man has been performing so incredibly well for Toro Rosso, currently P17. Followed by Victor Albom, who scored his first points of the season in Austria. It was a fantastic performance from Victor Albom as well. Finished P7 for Haas, and he brought them their best result this season. And they got McIntyre there as well, as Johansson across the line, and he goes fastest from Thomas Mandic, 133.146 it is for the Super Swede. Obviously, this is not the best circuit for Jesper Johansson. He's DNF'd. I think he DNF'd here back in 2017, if my memory serves me correct. It was either 2017 or 2018 it was. Yeah, well, in 2018 he DNF'd here, and he scored a P5 in Silverstone here in 2017. So this is not really Johansson's strong circuit. Not his favorite out there. But Patel goes across the line. He goes P8. And then there's Dennis Graf. And man in P5 at the moment as Samet Özkan posts an improvement, and up into P13 he goes, out of Q2. Goes Samet Özkan, and there's only 5 seconds remaining. As Kai Trezhnia is now going to go across the line. Franco Gamba, what on earth? As the Italian in the McLaren has gone fastest. That is a fantastic lap time from Franco Gamba. Where on earth did that come from? Oh my goodness. Trezhnia has done an improvement with that lap time. He's got himself out of Q2, but yeah, Franco just completely stole the spotlight. What was that? Whoa, fantastic stuff from Franco Gamba. As Mount is going to go across the line, he steals Gamba's moment of glory as he posts a 1:33.025. But wow, that is fantastic stuff from Franco Gamba. Ennis Parachi now goes fastest. As waiting for 10 other cars to cross the line, Luca Farina in the elimination zone. Can he go out? Yes, he can. P11 for the Italian. That knocks Josef Fredrik Schuto into the elimination zone. Can he get himself out for a third Q2 appearance? No, he can't. And it's going to be Josef Fredrik Schuto out of qualifying. But I believe Maximilian Novikov is going to be into Q2, which is fantastic for him. He was in Q2 in Austria, remember? I believe it was. So it's fantastic to see Novikov with this improved performance. Lewis McIntyre last. Can he improve? Yes, he can. P11 for Lewis McIntyre, but that's going to knock Kai Trezhnia into the elimination zone. Unfortunately for him, that's going to knock the man from Poland out of qualifying. And that is it for Q1. Your Elvis Parachi is faster than your bottom 5 is Victor Albom, Jafari Blackwood, Milka Singh, Josef Fredrik Schuto, and Samet Özkan. Very interesting Q1 session then. Apologies. But you had Miran Evji down in P14 there, so I think he didn't really get a good lap in. But yeah, Samet Özkan out, which is a surprise considering his very good performances in qualifying throughout these past few races, which is a shame for him, obviously. And Jafari Blackwood out as well, so Haas really not doing well here. They got Josef Fredrik Schuto, who was almost into Q2, but his teammate Novikov obviously into Q2 as well. And then I think the big talk of the town is going to be Franco Gamba, who, as we saw, went fastest in Q1 for a while there. So McLaren could maybe impress here at Silverstone. It could happen. We will see. Obviously, we've had no. We've had only Mercedes, Red Bull, and Ferrari on the podium. So there's been no midfield teams on the podium just yet. Last midfield podium was the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in 2018 when Ruslan Protsyuk secured a P3 for Haas. It was a fantastic performance from Protsyuk that day. Obviously, he's now retired, and we hope that he is enjoying his retirement. But yeah, here we are for Q2. Dennis Graf, the world champion, the Weltmeister, out on track. First man out. Obviously, Dennis Graf. His record at this circuit is P4 in 2018. and then another P4 in 2018, or 2017. So he's only scored P4s on this track, and he's going to be hoping to get it on the podium. Obviously, I believe podiums mean points for Dennis Graf, but I believe the world champion, obviously, he is still aiming to secure more wins in the season. It's been a very rough start to the season for the world champion, arguably his weakest start, which is really weird to say for Dennis Graf, because we know how incredible of a caliber Graf is of a driver. But he's only secured 1 win in 8 races, and I think Dennis won't be content with that. And then you look at Jesper Johansson, his rival last season, who secured 3 wins. But let's go through this lap with Dennis Graf as he heads into turn 1. Abbey, and now through turn number 2, farm into the first braking zone of Village. You're going to avoid that curve on the inside line there, as you're going to send your car flying, and then through the loop. If you're opportunistic, you can have a look on the inside through there, and then onto Aintree and down the Wellington straight, as he is going to have DRS here. And down to probably the best overtaking spots on this track, through Brooklands, and then the right-hander Luffield. Open up the car on exit there into Woodcut on the inside curb there, and here is the paddock start-finish straight, and now onto Cops. Very high-speed corners flat in these cars, fantastic to take, and now arguably onto the most legendary corners at this track, Maggots and Beckett. As you can see, it goes left, right, and it's an endless assault on the car and the driver. It's so much G-force through these couple of corners, and it's fantastic to see the cars go through there and attack it as much as possible as he heads down the hanger straight and then on to Stowe. Very good opportunity for overtaking you have into this corner. Try not to go wide on the exit of Stowe as you head into the Vale chicane. Late on the brakes, try to avoid that sausage curb on the inside. Use the curb there on the exit. Now through the final corner club and across the line for Dennis Graf to 133.6767 for Dennis Graf, the German, in the Ferrari. And we'll see if that will be beaten. Jesper Johansson 134.0, so he's not been able to get into the 134, surprisingly, for the championship leader. We'll see if he'll be able to set an improvement. But look at that, he was stuck behind, was that Thomas Mandic, I believe? He was stuck behind us. Parachi posted time, so does Kulasek and FG. Fernando Tost goes P4.3. He's got himself ahead of the Ferrari of Bjorn FG, which is fantastic for him. Franco Gamba, obviously McLaren's home races will be home race for a lot of constructors, as they've all got home bases in Britain. As Franco Gamba goes across the line 134.314. He's 1,000 of a second slower than Franco Gamba's. Kai Cherezhny goes across the line. Here is his teammate Mohamed Patel, who's just on the lap. Lamas Asnishkai, the young Serbian, as he rounds club. Let's see what Zasnishkai can do as he will go across the line. So 134.8 for the Serbian. And there goes Patel across the line. Slowest at the moment, so 135.7. So that was really a good lap time for Mohamed Patel. Maximilian Novikov goes across. And then it's Thomas Mandic across. He goes P3. And the final car across the line will be Alfred Klaus to post his first lap in Q2. And it is P8, surprisingly, he's behind Kai Cherezhny. But it's a very good lap time for Kai Cherezhny, as we said, P7. But Franco Gamba once again impressing P5. And then Lewis McIntyre in his home qualifying is P4 for Toro Rosso. He's out qualifying Alfred Klaus in the Red Bull at the moment. And we'll see if that will stick, though. Klaus probably will send an improvement later on in the session. As here's Franco Gamba, currently P5, carrying on the fantastic performance he had through into Q1 as he goes into the pit lane. Kai Cherezhny, the Polish driver, going across club now and just gonna make his way across the line then. Where will Kai Cherezhny go? He cannot improve, but he stays P7 for now. So your bottom 5 at the moment is Zasnishkai, Farina, Kulasek, Patel, and Novikov. It would be a shame for Mohamed Patel to not make it into the top 10, as he looked to be quite on a pace in Q1. Let's see Laban Zasnishkai, as he's currently in P11. Can he get himself into Q3 with that lap time? No, he can't just yet. Dennis Graf, who's currently fastest, the only man in the 133, surprisingly, as he goes across the line, and he improves on this lap. Fantastic stuff from him. As the man who's currently slowest, Maximilian Novikov, into the pit lane. Thomas Mandic across the line, no improvement for him, as Jesper Johansson is in as well. Alfred Klaus in P8, can he improve on this lap? He cannot, surprisingly. And Enis Parachki goes across as well. He's down in P9, Parachki. As Kulasek goes across the line as well in the Renault. He improves, but he stays in the 13th place at the moment. Here's the man one position up on him, Luca Farina, as the Italian goes across the line, and he is unfortunately unable to improve. As we see Kai Tresnia, the young Polish driver, obviously now in his first full season in Formula 1. I believe he has not raced at Silverstone in Formula 1, if not at all, actually. No, that's incorrect. He made his debut in Formula 1 at this track at the British Grand Prix for Racing Point, or Force India as it was called back then. He made his debut at this track for Racing Point, and he scored no points, unfortunately, for him, but he scored points at the next race. Lavas Nishkai, there he is, making his way across the Vale chicane, and he's now going to go across the line. No improvement for Zasnishka either. He's been pounding around the circuit looking for an improvement, but he just hasn't been able to find that edge. But Dennis Graf is really looking on form here in Q2, as he set yet another improvement to his pole time. Alfred Klaus not looking too shabby, as he's currently in 8th place. Across the line goes Klaus. There's no improvement. His teammate Mandic into the pit lane, and his Parachi goes across the line. He can't improve either, so really not a lot of improvements we see in qualifying. Everyone's just kind of stayed where they are. But this could mean that Kyle Teresnia once again gets into Q3, and Lewis McIntyre in P4 as well could be into Q3. Same with Franco Gamba and Fernando Tosso. The two McLarens could get themselves into the third stage of qualifying, which could be very nice for them. Obviously, both Renaults will be knocked out as it stands. Zasnishka P11 and Kulasek P13. Obviously, they tried to challenge for the points last time out at Austria, but both of them, unfortunately, could not get themselves into the points. As Zasnishka heads to the middle sector, there's about 9/10 off on Graf's time, so I don't actually think this is going to be an improvement for Laban, but we will see, as I think he's gone into the pit lane. Yes, he has. So Zasnishka sees no more point in running as he is in, so is Farina and Kulasek. So the only people who can get into Q3 will be Patel and then maybe Maximilian Novikov, but I doubt it. So I'd say the top 10 is basically just going to be like this. So now it's just to see if anyone can improve, as Alfred Klaus is into the pit lane. There is Enis Parachki. He's currently in P9, a bit low for the Macedonian driver. He's going to want to hope for a bit of a higher position going to Q3 so he can feel a bit more secure. Across the line he goes. No improvement for Enis Parachki, surprisingly enough, as it is next Fernando Tosta across the line. And across the line it goes, and it's P2 for Fernando Tost. That's a fantastic lap from Tost. Once again, we have a McLaren impressing in qualifying, as Fernando Tost has gone up into 2nd place. It's now Dennis Graf and Fernando Tost with the almost in the 133s. What on earth? That McLaren is rapid, it looks like. As Mirat Nevji is next across now, and he goes fastest. So there's an improvement from the Swede as he now tops the qualifying session. It's a Ferrari 1-2 in Q2 then. As Jesper Johansson heads into Vale. I believe he should be the final car to cross the line. And across the line goes Jesper Johansson, and he goes up into P3 ahead of Fernando Tost, gets himself into the 133s as well. Maximilian Novikov, the young Russian, is gonna make his way across the line, and he goes ahead of Mohamed Patel, but it's him out of Q3. Mohamed Patel as well is out. Even with that improvement, unfortunately, that's Mohamed Patel out. And that is Q2 done and dusted. Your bottom 5 are Lama Sasnishkai, Luka Farina, Mohamed Patel, Vojta Kunasek, and Maximilian Novikov. So that was very interesting then of a qualifying session. And this Parach, you can see that he was in P10, which really was not optimal for Parachki, obviously. He was hoping for a bit better. He looked very shaky along with Alfred Klaus as well. And then you had, obviously, Fernando Tost with a fantastic lap time, secured P2 at one point. He finished P4 in Q2. And then you had Lewis McIntyre and Franco Gamba up there as well with fantastic lap times of themselves. We'll see, though. McLaren have looked really good in Q1 and Q2. We'll see if they can carry on that to Q3, which will be quite interesting, obviously. But the question is who's going to secure pole, because we've had 2 different pole sitters, or not pole sitters, we've had 2 different people go fastest in Q1 and Q2. As we're now here for the 3rd and final stage of qualifying. And this is going to be quite interesting, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot of people looking competitive. And we're going to see who is able to clinch the top spot in qualifying. As it is Alfred Klaus, the first man out. Obviously, looking back at Klaus' results at Silverstone, he secured a P2 here in Britain, and in 2017 he did not score any points. He DNF'd here back in 2017. I think it was a first lap incident, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we will see if there will be any. Obviously, there's been first lap incidents at Silverstone basically every year here since 2017, I believe. We had one in 2017, and I think we had one in 2018, though it wasn't as major. So, yeah. I don't think that doesn't mean that I think we're gonna see it again, but you know, it might happen. It happened in the Formula 2 race. It had quite a lot of incidents in the F2 race, but yeah, all I can say is that we'll have to wait and see. As Klaus makes his way through the Vale chicane, he's going to start this flying lap of the British Grand Prix circuit. As he goes across the line to start his lap, and through Abbey he goes. Then through Farm and into the braking zone of Village on the curb there. And through the left-handers of the loop and Aintree. On the inside curve there on Aintree. Trying to maximize your exit down to the Wellington straight, obviously. As he heads into Brooklands, take as much curve there on the inside line there. Hit the apex through Lovefield. Open up the car for Woodcut. Trying to get the best exit down the paddock start finish straight. As he unleashes that 1,000 horsepower Honda engine through Copse he goes. Flat out corner as he heads through now. Maggots and Beckett. It's wonderful to see the cars go through here. You see that Red Bull looking very planted through these corners. And then out of Chapel he goes, and down the hangar straight. DRS engaged for the Swede. And then through Stowe, trying to get on the exit as much as possible, but it's very easy to run wide at Stowe, obviously. Now through the Vale chicane, watch out for that inside curb as he heads to the final left-hander club, and then across the line. That's a 1:33.1 for Alfred Klaus, so that is quite a good lap from the Swede. But we'll see if that will be beat as Johansson goes across the line. It's a 1:33.3 for Johansson. And next across is Fernando Tost in the McLaren. Where can he go? It's a 1:34.3, but that's, I have to say, a very good lap time from Alfred Klaus. It's a very strong lap that was. Looked flawless to me almost as FG goes across, and he goes faster than Klaus at the moment. 1:33 flat it is for Miran FG. And then next across will be Lewis McIntyre. Where can the Brit go? He's at a 1:34.2, just ahead of Fernando Tost. Then it is Kai Cherezhnia heading through the Vale chicane and through into Club goes the Polish driver, and into P4 goes Cherezhnia with a 1:34.132. Next is the 2017 world champion Dennis Graf as he makes his way across the line. And it is P4, Tomas Mandic up to P5. And then we have the Macedonian Enes Parachki as he goes across for P4 just behind teammate Johansson. Then it's Franco Gamba who goes P5, and that's all the 10 times on the board. And it's Miran FG who's currently fastest from Alfred Klaus and Jesper Johansson. Franco Gamba in P5. He's looked really strong during qualifying, I have to say. We'll see if we can manage an improvement or if anyone else will be able to beat him. But we will see as Klaus into the pit lane. Johansson goes across the line. He cannot improve. As Fernando Tost rounding the final corner. Let's see what Fernando Tost can do. No improvement just yet. Miran FG is currently fastest as he goes across the line. He does not manage an improvement, about 700 a second off his personal best. As Lewis McIntyre, the home hero in P9 at the moment for Toro Rosso, goes across the line. No improvement for McIntyre at the moment. Then it's the man who's one position up on him, Kai Cherezhnia in the Racing Point, as he comes through the final couple of corners. What can Kai Cherezhnia do as he goes across the line now? And no improvement for Cherezhnia just yet. Dennis Graf, the world champion, down in P60. That is not the best for Dennis Graf, but he's going to go across the line and he improves. But he stays P6. That is not optimal for Dennis Graf. And now with 1.5 minutes to go, Alfred Klaus is in the pit lane, so I wonder why he's not coming out. Alfred Klaus. Believe there might be some issue for Red Bull, or Klaus has just done a lap and he's decided that there's no need to go out again. Either way, that is going to be here. We're starting P2 at best. Jesper Johansson is going to make his way across the line. Where can the Super Swede go? Sets an improvement, but he cannot go into P2 just yet. Fernando Tost, the man who's currently in P10, as he makes his way across the line. Can he manage an improvement? Not yet. He's about 2/10 off his own time, as Lewis McIntyre still making his way around the circuit as he just comes out of Stowe. And he is into the pit lane, Lewis McIntyre. As Kai Cherezhnia as well, making his way around the circuit. Question is if he's going to get another lap in, as there's about 30 seconds remaining. I think he's going to actually be able to get another one in, if he's going to finish up this one, and he does. Through Vale goes Cherezhnia. And then to Club, yeah, he's going to have time for another lap if he does decide to finish up that one. But Cherezhnia does not improve on that lap at least. Dennis Graf is next across the line, same with Tomas Mandic as Miran FG into the pit lane. Graf goes across and he does not improve. What about Tomas Mandic? No improve for him either. Obviously remember, Tomas Mandic won at this circuit in Formula 2. As Parachki goes across the line and the checkered flag has now fallen. Franco Gamba goes across the line and he cannot improve, unfortunately, for the Italian. And next across will be Jesper Johansson. Let's see if the Super Swede can challenge for pole as he will go across the line. Will it be the pole for Jesper Johansson? No, it is only P3 for Jesper Johansson. Unfortunately for him, he will start P3 at the British Grand Prix. And I believe Kai Terezhny just got a lap time, and he's gonna finish up this lap as he heads through Maggots and Beckett's. So I think there's a few other guys who are on lap times as well. But Terezhny just making his way out of Chapel. It's about a second off Miran Evji at the moment, so I don't think Terezhny is gonna get up any positions with this lap unless he absolutely nails the third sector. We will see though. As Terezhny into the braking zone and then through Vale goes Terezhny into club. Let's see if he can improve. Unfortunately not for Kai Terezhny. He will start P8. Thomas Mandrich then in P7 as he could try and challenge for pole as well. Mandrich, he's going to go across the line, but he cannot improve. So there's absolutely zero improvements here in qualifying. Parachki can't improve either, and that means that Miran Evji is on pole position for the British Grand Prix. Right then, so a very, very calm Q3 that was, unusually calm. But it's Miran Evji secures pole from the Red Bull of Alfred Klaus and the Mercedes of Jesper Johansson. And then you have Franco Gamba starting P5, fantastic stuff from Franco Gamba. And they got Kai Terezhny in P8 as well. He's looking to score a few more points to try and equal his teammates in the championship standings, obviously. But this is very interesting then. Miran Evji starting on pole and Johansson starting in P3. If you look at the championship table, Johansson currently leads on 145 points. And then you have Miran Evji, who is 18 points behind in 127. And then there's Alfred Klaus on 120. So it is very close in a championship fight. Not as close as it was a few rounds ago. Johansson's obviously, he's been trying to run away with the title, but we'll see if Evji can put a stop to that. Could be very interesting though. We could have some good performers in this race. Obviously, I think the person we're looking at is Franco Gamba. Person in chat has a question. Yeah, you're free to ask. I will try my best to answer you. But yeah, Franco Gamba qualified P5, so he could be in for some really good points here today. And he's going to try to spear McLaren. Currently, they're P4 in the championship standings, obviously, leading by 30 points from Toro Rosso in 5th place. And then you got, obviously, in P6 is Renault. They've gone pointless for 3 races now, unfortunately. So we'll see if the Renaults can get themselves into points. They've obviously come painstakingly close to Q3 on several occasions now, and they've just completely missed out. Obviously, Lawa Sosnishka once again qualifying in P11. So it's been pretty unfortunate for Renault at the moment. Obviously, the only team to not score points yet in this season is Williams. As yeah, that Williams does not look good at all. Novikov and Shuto have real. I mean, they've done very well to try to drag that thing out of Q1, obviously, as we have seen. And here we are then for the race, and it's time to go through the starting grid then before lights out for the British Grand Prix. Mr. Miran Evji, who secures, I believe that is a second pole of the season for the Swede in the Ferrari, and it's Alfred Klaus, the Sweden Red Bull, lining up alongside him on the front row. The second row is occupied by the 2 Mercedes teammates, Jesper Johansson in P3 and Ennis Parachki in P4, and it's Franco Gamba, a very welcome surprise as the Italian qualifies P5, followed by Dennis Graf in P6. Thomas Mandrich is P7 alongside his alongside fellow former F2 driver Kai Cherezhnia in P8, and this Lewis McIntyre, home hero for Toro Rosso, in P9. Is going to want to impress the home crowd and take home some points for Toro Rosso, as Fernando Tost, the Polish driver, in P10. Laban Sasnishka is starting out the points. He is P11, followed by Luca Farina in 12th, and it's Mohamed Patel, the other British driver, in P13, and in P14 is Wojtek Kulasek. Behind him is Maximilian Novikov in 15th place, the man who scored his first ever Formula 2 podium at this venue back in 2017. Then Samet Özkan in 16th place, followed by Josef Frederick Schuto in 17th, and it's Milka Singh in P18. And taking the final 2 spots on the grid will be the 2 passes of Jafari Blackwood and Victor Albom. Not a great performance from them. But let's get on the way for the race, shall we? It's going to be a very exciting 26 laps we got ahead of us. Miran MG is on pole. What can Alfred Klaus do anything in P2 as the lights are now coming on? We've got 6 lights for the British Grand Prix. And we're underway for the British Grand Prix. Looks to be a very good start for Alfred Klaus, I think, but Johansson has got the jump on Klaus there. He got a very good start heading into the turn 3. As someone's off, I think Enes Paratsky spun round as he headed to Abbey. And Miran MG's built up a massive gap then. Laban Sasnishka into the points, as I think, Paratsky spun round. He's taking a few others with him. I wonder who that might be. I think Kai Cherezhnia is involved. And there he is, and it's a McLaren. Is that Franco Gamba, may I wonder, who's been taken with him? Yes, it is, unfortunately for Franco Gamba, who qualified so well in the qualifying, and he's now down to last, as we're going to get a replay on this for what happened in the start then. Brand new instant replay feature that we have just discovered with AC. We're going to see what happened then as we'll go on board with Enes Paratsky. As there's the race start. So you can see there, didn't get quite the best start, like his teammate Johansson, and he makes I believe he makes contact with someone on the inside, gets touched there again. We're gonna see what happened then. We're gonna check from the onboard Dennis Groff. You can see that he gets the jump on Paratsky. He's lining on inside, and Ennis just shuts the door on him. I mean, he is from far way back, but Ennis just shuts the door. Luckily, Dennis is unscathed. Maybe he has a bit of damage to their front wing, but he brought Cherezhnia with him as well. You can see Farina got up to P9 with that accident. As there's Paratsky and Cherezhnia, they're still doing anything. As Cherezhnia is trying to get ahead of the Mercedes for that, what is essentially P18 now, as he's got a good exit out of Woodcut, that is. And they're going to head into Cop side by side. Cherezhnia is just going to have the inside line. Paratsky's going to try to swing it the long way around, as Cherezhnia is actually putting up a bit of decent resistance here. But Paratsky does get ahead as they head into Magnus Beckett's. There's a crash, and that's Luca Farina into Beckett's, that is. And we're going to see the replay of this as well. So there's Zasnishka as he tries it on Luca Farina. Has a look, and he lines up alongside him. And he touches with Zasnishka and loses control. Obviously, we saw a crash there at the Formula 2 race, and he's beached into the gravel, unfortunately for him. And that is Luca Farina, unfortunately, out of the race. And that brings Maximilian Novikov into the points. As we were just talking about Williams not scoring any points this season, Novikov is into the points-paying positions. But it is MG who leads from Klaus in P2 and Johansson in P3, so the top 3 has been unchanged. But that's a shame for Luca Farina as he was running in the points. So here's Alfred Klaus in P2, very, very close to the back of Miran MG was the Alfred Klaus. Despite having 6 race wins, only took 2 of them from pole position. He is obviously known to be a very big overtaker, Alfred Klaus, and we can see what he can do as Jesper Johansson there as well behind in P3. As he's chasing down them, the race leader LG, and then there's LG's teammate Groff in P4. But a lot of incidents then into lap 1 that's been, as we went 1 DNF of Luca Farina, and 3 guys being sent way down the grid. But it's such a shame for Franco Gamba, really is. I mean, he qualified P5 would have been fantastic to see him score so many points for McLaren, and now it's just been sent to the back of the grid. Same with Kai Cherezhnia, who's been struggling quite a bit this season. and yeah, he was taken out, unfortunately for him. As Alfred Klaus, you can see he is closing in on Miran FG, not getting close enough to his fellow Swedish compatriot just yet. As there's Milka Singh on home here. Mohammed Patel is the British driver versus the Indian driver, as Singh's going to be on the inside line there as they head into Stowe, and now into the Vale chicane. Singh's going to be on the outside line as he goes on the outside. Ooh, Patel over the curb, and that's going to allow Singh to get ahead as Dennis Groff is the fastest lap of the race. And yeah, Patel got a quite bad exit out of Vale, and that's allowed Josef Fredrik Schuto to catch up with Enis Paratskin as the fastest lap of the race of 136.596 it is for the Macedonian driver, as he is looking to claw his way back up the order. Enis Paratskin. Dennis Groff then heading down the Wellington Straight as he's chasing down Jesper Johansson for third place, as everyone's trying to settle into the gaps now and try and make the moves on each other. Dennis Groff obviously looking to not finish P4 again in Silverstone. As we see everyone head through Copse and then into Maggots and Beckett. But it's already been lap 3 of the British Grand Prix. We've already had drama into the first corner, which is a very big shame, obviously, for a few of the drivers. As Josef Fredrik Schuto here is chasing down Mohammed Patel, who's losing a bit of time on Milka Singh. There behind is Samet Özkan as well, who's going to try to get involved in this little battle as they head into Stowe. Schuto remaining behind them for the time being, as there's the two Hasses scrabbling with each other, as I completely ran out of words there, but it's Blackwood versus Victor almost. They head into Vale, and I think that was all over the curb, and that's compromised them on exit, but Blackwood gets a very poor exit out of Vale, that was, or I think it was Club, I don't remember. But Albon might be under pressure. There's Enis Paratsky on the inside line into Abbey. Whoa, massive slide for Enis Paratsky, but he's caught it. Oh my goodness me, and Paratsky completely lost it, and now Kai Chireshki is putting the pressure once again on the Macedonian. But Enis Paratsky just getting all out of shape there as he's trying to overtake Victor Albon. But yeah, that was a very botched attempt for Enis Paratsky. I wonder if we could get a replay on that. Actually. And yeah, we're going to get the replay on that. So Enis Paratsky then, wherever he is, here he is. We're going to go back a bit. And there's the slide. Get an onboard here, maybe. Yeah, there we are, onboard with Paratsky. And you can see there's Albon trying it. And he gets compromised on exit there, so he's got a bit of an inside line. And Paratsky sees the opportunity, hasn't looked, but it's a bit too far back here. And it goes over the curb, and the oversteer just hits him. And he loses so much time, but that was a fantastic save from Paratsky. Really demonstrate his car control with that Mercedes, but that's allowed Chireshnia to catch up. And Franco Gamba, unfortunately for him, I think he's gone on damage. They're down at P19. As the leading pack heads through Maggots and Beckett, you can see how close Klaus is to the back of Miran FG. But he is remaining patient, Alfred Klaus, and he's gonna wait for the time to strike. And then down the midfield, we have a battle as well. Kulasek trying to get past Lewis McIntyre for P7 as both Renaults are currently in the points. Could be double points for Renault, which is gonna be very, very nice for them. Obviously, I think their last double point scoring position was at the Spanish Grand Prix, as Paratsky and Albon once again locked in wheel-to-wheel racing, as Albon's going to be on the inside line here. It's over the curb though once again, and that's going to allow Enis Paratsky to finally get past the Dane. As Chireshnia is going to try to get past Victor Albon as well, but yeah, for now he's going to have to remain behind. As you can see, that Chireshnia is all over the back of the gearbox of Victor Albon, really, really close to Albon at the moment. As Dennis Groff, here he is, the man in P4, currently chasing down Jesper Johansson for the podium positions. as they head down the paddock start finish straight through into Copse. As now they're going to head into Maggots and Becker. See Johansson is losing a bit of time on Alfred Klaus. Should be no issue because it's not that massive of a gap. Either way, the top four still relatively close to each other at the moment. As Klaus then chasing down FG. See just about 3/10 separate him and the Ferrari at the moment. As they head into Vale. See all these guys going through there. Klaus, I think he went a bit wide. Yeah, he went wide through Vale, and that's lost him a bit of time as well, unfortunately for Alfred Klaus. As they all head through Abbey once again. Now, this is going to be interesting though. Alfred Klaus, obviously he's known for his late charges through the field. We usually don't see him making early overtakes in the race. You know, it's the late stage of the race where he really comes into play. You know, he's marked as a big finisher, Alfred Klaus. But we will see. For now, I think he's just going to stay behind and assess the situation and try and make the move. Milka Singh, here he is in P11 chasing down his first points of the season. But he's chasing down another man who's looking for his first points of the season and for his team, Maximilian Novikov, in P10. So that could be a very interesting battle if Singh is able to catch up to the Russian. As we see everyone heading through Maggots and Becker, so you see really just it's so mesmerizing seeing these guys go through these corners because it's almost flat out in these cars. So it's really fantastic to see. We're going to see that Klaus, look how close he is on this lap, so he's actually getting closer as the laps go, and I mean it depends. In a few laps time we could see him make the overtake, so we will see what happens then. So I think the battle for the lead is eventually gonna commence between these two in a few laps time, as Klaus is gaining at this rate. As there's Cherezny, I think, on Victor Albom, as he's gonna go around the outside of the Danish driver. Albom over the curb again. As they head through Club, Albom's actually got he's actually got a good exit out of Vale, but I don't think he's close enough to Cherezny, unfortunately. So it is going to be Kai who gets ahead of Victor, unfortunately, for the Haas driver, but that's Cherezny up at least one position in this race. It's a shame. He's been involved in a lot of incidents this season, Cherezny. A lot of them not even his fault. So yeah, he's quite unlucky with how things have been going for him this season. But as they head through Copse Corner and then through Maggots and Becker, once again you see Groff very, very close to Jesper Johansson. But Alfred Klaus, look how close he is as they head through Chapel. He is insanely close to the back of that Ferrari. We're going to see, though, if he's able to get him down the straight. No, he's not, actually. He's actually... I think he fell on the slipstream a bit. I know it's 4/10, but I think he moved out of the slipstream for a tiny bit. In the meanwhile, here's Enes Parachki. He's looking to make another overtake on one of the Haas. That's Jafari Blackwood, as he hasn't... I think he had a look on the inside, but it's a bit too far away for the time being. As they head through the Vale chicane, Parachi a bit wide, that is, as Mir and FG as they head through the loop at Aintree. You can see he's really feeling the pressure from Alfred Klaus, so Klaus is really getting closer as the laps go. So I feel like it's almost a question of if or a question of when, not if, for Klaus making the move. But we will see. Things could happen that we won't anticipate as they head through Luffield. Then down the paddock, start finish straight, and then everyone going through Copse. You can see Klaus gaining a lot in the high-speed corners compared to FG. Especially through this section, Magnus and Beckett's Klaus looks on rails through the third sector, while FG is much more better in the braking zones, it looks like. But he's gonna try to close in on FG as they head down into Stowe. And he is not close enough just yet, but he's gonna have to wait. Klaus is gonna have to be patient. He's gonna have to wait for the opportunity to strike. He's gonna want to pressure FG into a mistake. Meanwhile, here's the other Mercedes of Enis Paratsky's P16 at the moment, chasing down Jafari Black with the Formula 2 champion in 2018 he was. As we look once again at the lead, you can see there Klaus oh so close to me and FG, as we've got 11 viewers in chat. Wow, hello to everyone. It's fantastic to see the support we've been receiving lately with Formula 1. So thank you to everyone watching. And if you do find this very interesting, make sure to join our Discord server that is linked in the description below. And you could get yourself involved into the action. As Alfred Klaus, you can see, chasing down Mir and FG through Cops, looks a bit further back than what he was in the previous laps, if I'm being honest. But we are gonna see. You can see to Magnus and Beckett's how much he just gains on FG. It's incredible. And then as they head, look how close he is to the back. Surely the overtake must happen here now. And it is going to happen as Klaus has a look on the inside on Mir and FG as they head into Stowe. Klaus just barely alongside. There's just a car length between the two. But FG leaves the space as they head into the Vale chicane. Now into the braking zone. Klaus is going to go around the outside as FG jumps over the curb. And that's going to be Klaus into the lead of the race. But he's got quite the poor exit either way. That is going to be Klaus leading the British Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff as always from Alfred Klaus with the overtaking for the lead. As they head into Abbey, it is going to be Klaus who leads the British Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff from Alfred Klaus. He waited and waited and waited, and when he saw the opportunity, he finally went for it and made the overtake. Wonder if we could see that again though. That was a very nice overtake. Yeah, we're going to have a look at the overtake for the lead once again. If we could get the onboard as well here for Klaus, would be very nice. As you see there, out the chapel then, he gets a very good run on FG. As you can see, he's closing in here by quite a bit. And then into Stowe, there's barely any room. It's from so far back. And then FG on the exit there has to avoid going off track. So he gets a poor exit. Klaus very late on the brakes. And then around the outside as FG hops over the curb. Gets a poor exit here, but it's fine, as he's already made the move for the lead. So just fantastic stuff from Alfred Klaus. He took a very big risk there by braking super late, and it got done. So fantastic stuff from Alfred Klaus. It's really an Alfred Klaus move, that was. And he got it done beautifully. So there's a bit of fighting at the back. Enis Paratsky is going to try to get past Jafari Blackwood here. As he's trying to recuperate his losses. Blackwood shuts the door though. Oh, into Luffield. But there's Mondich on the inside of Grove. Through into Cops. That was very, very close between the two. And look, there's Fernando Tost. I just realized Tost is joining up on this train. As Cherezhnia, what on earth? Kai Cherezhnia is going to pass Enis Paratsky, but they're going to be side by side to Cops. As there's Paratsky on the inside, and they're going to be wheel to wheel, heading through Magnus and Beckett. Hopefully this won't result in disaster for the two, but it's going to be Paratsky on the inside line. Oh my goodness, and they touch, but both of them have held it as they head through. And Beckett, Cherezhnia is just going to hold it. That was so close to tears between the two. Oh my goodness, we're going to see the replay of this. That was so close. I wonder if we can get the slow-mo on that as well. As yeah, that was so close. And you can see here on board Cherezhnia then, as they head out of Luffield, you can see he dipped the wheel into the gravel there, and that gave Cherezhnia the run. And then you have Parachki there. On the inside line to Kops. And now if we could get the onboard Parachki here, you can see just... Yeah, he's trying to correct his line there, and they make contact. So that's actually that's so close. And I was sure that both of them would go off there. But yeah, fantastic stuff from both of them to actually hold it. But side by side to Magnus and Beckett, that was incredible between the two. As here's the battle for P7, it's the two Renaults versus Lewis McIntyre. As Klaus is really pulling away. He's just completely checked out after Klaus. 1.7 seconds to Mir and FG. And I think that is the most Alfred Klaus thing ever. As Wojtek Kulasek, he's having the look on McIntyre into the loop. I think that was. Or no, that was into Aintree. But he wasn't able to keep it down. That's actually compromised exit, because here comes Labos Asnishkai into Brooklands. As you have a look on his teammate, this might not be too good for the Reynolds, so chasing down McIntyre, but he's going to be on the outside line into a left field. And he's gone a bit wide, Asnishkai. And that's not gonna do him wonders at all. Kulasek was gonna still try to chase down Lewis McIntyre. As they head into Cops, you can see there Kulasek closing in on McIntyre, but he's not going to be able to make the move into Maggots. As here is Jesper Johansson. He's also looking to make the move on Mir and FG. Here he goes. FG was just going to finish ahead of Johansson. His plans might be foiled there as Johansson's going to go on the inside line. FG's not wanting to fall back the order, but he unfortunately might have to, as Johansson is going to be on the outside line into Vale, just as the same as Alfred Klaus did, as FG goes over the curb and Johansson is through. So FG is dropping like a stone here, which is really not good for Jesper Johansson, as Dennis Graf might try it on his teammate here. Oh, big slide for Graf, but he can't do the move on his teammate just yet. There's Fernando Tost. What on earth? I was gonna go around the outside of Mandic. Mandic goes over the curb. Tost has made the pass. What a fantastic move from Fernando Tost in the McLaren. I cannot believe it. That was the biggest opportunity for Tost, and he just took it. Fernando Tost and McLaren has made the overtake on the Red Bull of Thomas Mandic. This man, I tell you, he is fantastic. And he's got himself up into P5. What a move from Fernando Tost. Just fantastic stuff overall from the man from Poland. Oh my goodness me, you love to see it in his debut season. He's not even done a full season. He's missed two races of the calendar, and he's already doing so well. So it's really fantastic to have him up there. As Samet Özkan is chasing down Josef Erik Schuto, Dennis Graf is trying to get past his teammate here, as FG's really just lost the pace here. As Thomas Mandic is looking to re-overtake Fernando Tost. Mandic obviously has a habit of being stuck behind midfield cars for quite a bit. So here's Samet Özkan chasing down Josef Erik Schuto. Into Vale they go. See how close they are. As Enis Paraski has got himself into this train as well. As Klaus is completely pulled away. He's 3.1 seconds to Johansson for the lead. So I think Klaus is, with halfway to go, could take the victory here. But I won't, obviously, I'm not going to say that he will, because I don't want to jinx it. Anything can still happen. And we have had last minute victories at the British GP. You remember back to Formula 2 in 2018. Where he had the final lap with Rosetta Martinez to take the race win away from, I believe it was Fernando Tost actually. As Milka Singh still chasing down Maximilian Novikov. He's so close to the Williams as they're gonna head into Magnussen Beckett's. You can see that the Alfa Romeo chasing down the Williams. Both are fighting for points here. The one singular point that's awarded for finishing P10. As you can see how close he is to the back of Novikov here. And Novikov is going to have to defend for his life here. If Singh does try it, he doesn't actually try it, surprisingly enough. But he line up the move into Vale? No. He stays behind Singh. As here's Franco Gamba, who was 6 seconds behind him, but he was plumb last, and he now gets past Victor Albon. Nice, that was actually a real nice move from Franco Gamba, and he's back over to P19 looking for a bit of redemption here at Silverstone, obviously, but it's still such a shame for Franco Gamba. You know, started P5, and he's down to P18. As the battle for P10 rages on between Milka Singh and Maximilian Novikov as they head down the Wellington Straight. There, just in the background, is Mohammed Patel, as you can see. And heading through Luffield as well, Singh not really making any gains on Novikov at the moment. So actually really well done from Maximilian Novikov, who's defending such a high position for him quite well. As they head through Copse, you can see how close he is at the moment. He's really close to the Williams as they head through Maggots, then to Beckett's. See, he's close, but Novikov looks like he get the better exit out of Chapel actually. So I think he is safe as they head down the Hanger Straight. And yeah, he is. So as they head to Stowe, it's going to be Novikov who remains ahead. And you can see Johansson has actually pulled away from FG as well. By 1.6 that gap is between FG and Johansson. But Johansson is not gaining on Klaus. Klaus is in fact, it's doing the opposite. Klaus is actually gaining time on Johansson. It's about 3.2. It's not as big as a gain as it was on FG, but he is still gaining by about a 10th on Jesper Johansson. So Singh is still chasing down Novikov. Mohammed Patel is actually caught up with these two, so Patel could get involved in the battle for points. It's the Russian versus the Indian versus the Brit in the battle for P10, and we'll see who comes out victorious. As you can see how, yeah, Singh is so close to the second sector. He really is faster than Novikov in the braking zone, but he just can't get it through the high-speed corners. As that a very bad exit, as Patel is having a look now on Singh as they're side by side to Magnus and Beckett. Oh, they make contact as Singh. Oh my goodness, what a save from Milka Singh! But he's lost out of the position. I was certain that he would crash there, but unlike his teammate Luca Farina, he's held it beautifully. But it has cost him the position, unfortunately for him. Here's Samet Özkan on Josef Fredrik Schuto as he drives it into Stowe. But it is going to be Schuto who remains ahead then of the Swede in the Toro Rosso. So Schuto remains ahead for P13 then. But oh my goodness, Milka Singh at such high speed as well, holding it. That was beautiful. We've seen a lot of saves from these drivers. But yeah, he caught that beautifully, Milka Singh. And that is now Mohammed Patel up into P11 as he re-overtakes Milka Singh. But yeah, these drivers, I have to say they're very brave going through Maggots and Beckett. But I think every time we've seen a few drivers through there's obviously been accidents. So it's maybe not the safest to go side by side through Maggots and Beckett. As they head down the paddock start finish straight. As here's Patel looking for the move into Copse on Novikov. as young Novikov is now going to have to be put under pressure by the man who's won a race here, remember, Mohammed Patel, as Singh is having a look on it again. No, don't do it, Singh. Oh, as he has another slide once again. But he has held it that time as well. So, yeah, a bit of Tokyo drift there from Milka Singh. As you don't really, I think this is really proving that you don't want to get offline, as Enis Paraschke tries it on Kai Cherezhnia once again. These two have really been battling the entire race, and you know, it's not for the position they want to, but as they're going to head into the Vale chicane, Cherezhnia goes over the curb, and that has compromised Cherezhnia on exit. It's going to allow Paraschke to get ahead of Cherezhnia, and there in the background is Franco Gamba, obviously, as well. So he's been he's closed up to the three guys, as well as Patel. Having a bit of a look on the inside there of Novikov. Maximilian leaves the space though, as they're going to be on the inside line, and Mohammed Patel should have this easily, unless Novikov decides to put up the pressure, and he does, as he is going to fight nail and toe for this position. Obviously, Novikov on the inside line, fantastic defending from the Williams, as Patel's going to be forced out wide, and he has been by Maximilian Novikov, and that is going to allow the Williams to remain ahead for P10. Really great stuff from Maximilian Novikov. Here's a look again though, Patel into Kops, and Singh might get involved in this as well. It's a fantastic battle for 10th place, but maybe not into Maggots and Beckett's, as we know what happened there last time between Singh and Patel. So yeah, Singh backs out of it this time. He thinks better of it, so he might try it into the hangar straight, as the all three go into the hangar straight. Then Patel in the racing point, closing in on the Williams of Maximilian Novikov. Here will he try it on the inside line just yet? No, he does not. He's gonna have to stay behind and try it the next lap, as Paraschke he's stuck behind Jafari Blackwood, the Formula 2 champion, putting up great defending to the Mercedes of Enis Paraschke. As Patel once again has a head reform, and then into Village. He is so incredibly close. He's basically breathing down the neck of Maximilian Novikov, and Novikov defending relentlessly from Mohammed Patel, the man who's a race winner around this circuit, as Enis Paraschke is now looking for the way past Jafari Blackwood on the inside line. Is he going to have the inside even? No, he doesn't. Jafari remains ahead, but he's going to have a look on the outside then, he says. But it did not really work as expected, I think, for Paraschke, unfortunately. As Patel very close to the back of Novikov once again. He's having a look on the inside of Kops, and that has actually given him a really poor exit out of Kops, as he was on the inside line there, but he wasn't close enough to try it. He tried it from way too far back. Either way, there is Victor Olbom in the back. He's actually he's trying to move on Franco Gamba through Maggots and Beck as they go. Now they've actually kept it clean, I think, as Olbom into Chapel is being forced out wide, and there's not much the Dane can do there. Enis Paraschke is going to try it on Jafari Blackwood on the inside line to Stowe, but Blackwood is just about a car length ahead as they head into Stowe, so he couldn't really try it. But look how close everyone is in the midfield. It's absolutely fantastic. As everyone heads through Abbey. Got Mohammed Patel here stuck behind Maximilian Novikov. The Novikov Express is in full working order, ladies and gentlemen. As Patel has a look on the inside. Not going to work though, I don't think. As they head into onto the Wellington Straight. And there goes Paraschke on Blackwood. Finally up and alongside the Jamaican. As he's going to be on the inside line then as they head into Brooklands. And Jafari is going to have to go the long way round. I think he should just be ahead, Enis, But you can see there, Black was still putting the pressure as Paratsky goes a bit wide and off the track. And that has allowed Jafari Blackwood to get past. Fantastic stuff of Jafari Blackwood. And there goes Kai Chereshnya once again. This man is really not leaving Enes Paratsky alone, as Özkan is now under pressure from Jafari Blackwood. Defense has turned into offense for the Jamaican. But there's Patel and Novikov side by side. And Patel, he's gotten ahead of Novikov into Maggots and Beckett. Fantastic stuff from Mohamed Patel as he finally gets ahead. Oh no! And there's Samet Özkan and he's off into the gravel. And I believe he's made contact with Jafari Blackwood. Let's see this again. If we could get the TV camera here, please, I think would be a bit better. We're gonna see this. As there's Blackwood on the outside line. Oh yeah, Özkan goes wide and he loses it, makes contact with Blackwood. The understeer just completely hit him, and he went wide through Maggots, and he just went into it's the same as Farina almost, but that's a shame for the Toro Rosso driver, as that is his first DNF of the season. And it's a shame for Novikov though, as he's now under pressure from Milka Singh as well, and Singh has gotten ahead of Novikov as well, finally for him. But yeah, that is Mohamed Patel into the points. He really has done fantastically, I have to say. As Jafari Blackwood, who's still defending from Enes Paratsky. Paratsky was having a look into the village late on the brakes. For Paratsky, through Aintree they will go. And Blackwood gets the better exit out of the Hangar Straight. As Chereshnya has been overtaken by Franco Gamba, actually. I just realized that. As Gamba's having a look on the outside line, through into Brooklands. What an opportunistic move from Franco Gamba as he goes on the inside line into Luffield. He's going to force Paratsky out wide, and he gets the move done. What a move from Franco Gamba. That was beautiful. And there goes Kai Chereshnya on Enes Paratsky on the inside line there. But no, there's Paratsky on the inside. I think he switched from the outside to inside. And it's compromised him on exit Enes, as he's now being fought for last place by Victor Albom. There goes Albom on the inside as the Maggots and Beckett. Oh no, and Paratsky's lost it, and I think he is into the gravel as well. And that's another DNFer, Enes Paratsky, after what was basically a horrid weekend. A horrid race for him finally comes to an end, but he's made contact with Victor Albom. And I think that was Enes' fault, actually. He lost control on his own on the curb, and he went into Albom. That was. So that was actually yeah, that is shame though. And this Paratsky out again. He was out in Tuscany as well. But Franco Gamba now up at the P15. There's Kulasek on McIntyre, as it's going to be the Renault versus Toro Rosso heading down into Brooklands. Kulasek late on the brakes on the inside line there. McIntyre, the home hero, defending that P7 from Kulasek as they head through Luffield. He's going to try to force Kulasek out wide, and he has done so. So that is going to be Wojtek Kulasek, who is behind Lewis McIntyre. So fantastic defending from the Brit, as there's Chereshnya and Gamba. Gamba now under pressure from Kai Chereshnya, the two former teammates. Remember, these guys were teammates last season, and they're now in different teams. But it was Chereshnya who was trying to get past Gamba there, as Chereshnya might be under pressure from Victor Albom here, as he's going to go around the outside into Cups, and I think they're going to be wheel to wheel through Maggots and Beckett's actually. But no, they actually aren't. Chereshnya was successfully defending from Albom there, as Albom's been kind of hanging out there in last place, trying to pick up the scraps from everyone else. As Kulasek and McIntyre into the Vel chicane. There's McIntyre on the inside line, but he's gone over the curb there, and that is going to be Wojtek Kulasek with the move up into P7. Fantastic battle between Kulasek and McIntyre here at Silverstone, and it is Wojtek Kulasek who comes out as the victor in that battle. As it was really fantastic between the two. Great racing we're being treated to here at Silverstone. As Franco Gamba is now chasing down Jafari Blackwood as well. He's trying to do what Enes Paratsky couldn't do. As they all head into Abbey, and then from Foreman into the braking zone of Village. You can see how close he is, but he's not trying it just yet. As he had a look on the inside line there into the loop, but yeah, there just wasn't enough. He was a bit too far back to try it, I think. Either way, he's going to head down to Brooklands and Luffield. As he heads into Luffield and then through Brooklands. Not gaining too much on the Haas just yet. Meanwhile, here's Thomas Mandic, as we haven't really focused on the lead pair at the moment. But Thomas Mandic now trying to Fernando Tost into Stowe. It's going to be Tost on the outside line there, as he got a very good exit there out of Stowe and then into Vale they will go, and he gets it on the outside there. So there's Thomas Mandic back up into 5th place of Fernando Tost. Either way, for the fact that Tost held it for so long, it is a very commendable effort from Fernando Tost. Either way, that is Thomas Mandic back up into P5. As here's the other McLaren of Franco Gambas. He's having a look on Jafari Blackwood. He's having a look on the inside line there. He's gonna go on the outside line though. And that has compromised him a bit on exit, because here comes Kaya Cherezhnia. He's gonna try it into the first corner. He will try it, as there it goes on the inside. Oh dear, but it's a big slide for the man from Poland. And he has been, that move didn't really go well for him, because here comes Victor Arbo on the inside line there, but he's having a look, though he could not quite do it, as Cherezhnia leaves the space for Victor there, as the two are going to be wheel to wheel heading into heading down the Wellington Straight. Album though not quite wheel to wheel, so I got that wrong actually, but Album's going to remain behind for now. He's been treated to a fair bit of action as well, Victor Alblom, considering that he is last in this race at the moment. As here's Maximilian Novikov. He's still on the back of Milka Singh. And behind is his teammate Josef Fredrik Schuto. Unfortunately, no point it will be for Williams at Silverstone. As much as Novikov defended valiantly from the others, it was only so much he could do in the machinery that he was given. Franco Gamba might have a look on Jafari Blackwood, as he's still trying to chase down Jamaican, but nothing's coming out of that just yet. He is having a look on the outside. And he's really trying to follow Blackwood through, but nothing's really been happening out of that just yet. But Franco, he's a mature driver, and he is patient, so we will just wait behind and see. We'll see what he will try. Hopefully it's not a Magnussen Beckett's move, because 90% of those moves do not work, except the one Mohamed Patel made. He actually somehow made a Magnussen Beckett's move stick, which was, fantastic stuff from him. As there is Gam on the inside line of Jafari Blackwood, but Blackwood gets the better exit then as they head into the Wellington Straight. So it should theoretically mean that he is ahead into Brooklands, and yes, he is. Still going to have another shot though this lap into Stowe, but they're going to head through Copse now and then through into Magnussen Beckett's. They will go. As you see through Magnussen Beckett's, you can see how much Gamba gains through Maggots, as he goes out of Chapel now, and it's about 3/10 to Blackwood. We'll see if he does try it to Stowe. I think he's too far away actually to try it to Stowe. As Klaus, I just realized Jesper Johansson's actually kind of caught up for Klaus here on lap 25 and 26. The question is if Johansson could maybe make a move here. I would say he wouldn't, because he's a bit too far away, and there's not enough laps remaining for Johansson to try it, unfortunately. Either way, we will see, but either way, that is actually quite interesting. as Gamba once again through entry goes, still trying to chase down Jafari Blackwood as he heads down into Brooklyn. Still no move yet for Franco Gamba. He's running out of time, the Italian. But considering that he was last at one point, P20, he's still doing quite well up in P15. Though it's obviously not the race he was hoping for. I don't think. As we're now on the final lap of the race, Alfred Klaus there just crosses the line to start the final lap as he rounds Abbey for one final time. Jesper Johansson still, he's quite close to Alfred Klaus, but I do think that Klaus is gonna get this, if I'm being 100% honest. Either way, we will see though as they head down the Wellington Straight. And Johansson is closing in by a bit, but it's about a 5/10 gap, so I don't think Alfred Klaus will. I don't think he will be able to. I was going to say I don't think he'll be. I think he will be able to take the victory. He looks set to win the British Grand Prix as they head through Copse. And yeah, it is. Yeah, the gap's still about 6/10 now as they head through Maggots and Beckett's. You can see that Johansson is gaining by a bit, but it's not going to be enough for Johansson, I don't think, as they're going to head down the Hanger Straight. And Johansson about 4/10 now to Alfred Klaus. It's down to 3/10, up to 4/10 again as they come out of the braking zone. And I do think it is going to be this man who comes home victorious, as there's going to be quite a close finish, but they round Vale for one final time. A fantastic showing, as he always does, and it's going to be Alfred Klaus who rounds the final corner to win the British Grand Prix after a very exciting race. And it's Jesper Johansson who comes on P2, fireworks flying in the background there for Alfred Klaus, and it's Jesper Johansson who comes on P2 and Miran Evci P3 on the podium. And yeah, Fernando Tost P6, fantastic from him, and Wojtek Kulasek P7. I believe that is his best finish of the season. And Lewis McIntyre securing 4 whole championship points for Toro Rosso. Laban Sasnishka in the points as well, and Muhammad Patel into the points as well in his home race. Both Brits into points at their home race, so they've done quite well. Milka Singh has made up 7 positions, P11. Unfortunately, could not be the points for him today. Neither could it be for Maximilian Novikov in P12. And he also for Shuto P13. Either it's a good day for Williams, but no points award for them. And now we can breathe out. That was a very, very good race. And yeah, the final classifications then, it is Alfred Klaus who takes the race win here at sorry, but yeah, it is Alfred Klaus who takes the race win here at Silverstone, with Jesper Johansson in P2 and then Miran Evci in P3. And then it's Dennis Graf in 4th place, and Thomas Mandic is P5, with Fernando Tost, who I have to say did a valiant race once again to finish P6, with Wojtek Kulasek in P7 and then Lewis McIntyre in P8. Laban Sasnishka is P9, so double points for Renault, followed by Mohamed Patel clinching 1 point in P10. Milka Singh is P11, followed by Maximilian Novikov and Josef Fredrik Schuto. The two Williams is P12 and P13. And then P14 is Jafari Blackwood, followed by Franco Gamba, who obviously is a race to forget for him. But he did the best he could in P15, followed by Kyle Racing in P17, and Victor Alblom in 17th. And the 3 non-finishers will be Enis Bratsky, Samet Özkan, and Luca Farina. And that is it for the ACOC. Thanks so much for watching. It's been a fantastic race. We've had a lot of action, overtakes, drama, and yeah, it was very exciting from yeah, it was exciting. That's what I'm trying to say. I ran out of words there, sorry. But yeah, I think it's time to give out driver of the day. Now, there are a lot of candidates in my head, but I would have to give it to I'm going to give it to Fernando Tost, honestly. I mean, he made such a fantastic move on Thomas Mandic, and he held off the Croatian for so long. And even though, he didn't get that P5, it's still a P6, which is a fantastic performance from him. And he comes home with yet another great showing. So, yeah, Fernando Tost, you get my driver of the day. But that is it then for F1. Thanks so much for watching. It's been an absolutely fantastic race. It has been that has been it for the ACOC this weekend. So we will see you next week when the ACOC returns for F1 and F2 at the Hockenheimring for the German Grand Prix. And I believe we've got Formula E on as well. Oh, right. And tomorrow, make sure to not miss that. Tomorrow we have the ACOC special anniversary race where we celebrate 1 year of the Assetto Corsa offline championship. So, it has been it for us. I've been Miran Evji, your commentator as always, and we will see you tomorrow. So thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.